It's a funny thing. Sometimes the best problem to have is also the biggest one. I'm talking about growth. Your company is taking off. Things are great, but suddenly the tools and systems that got you here just can't keep up. It feels like you're a victim of your own success, right? The very engine that powered your growth suddenly becomes the biggest bottleneck holding you back. So you really have to ask yourself, is our growth outpacing our systems? Because when the answer is yes, every new win, every new customer, it almost feels like it adds more stress than excitement. It's just another strain on a system that's already at its breaking point. Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. We're going to look at how growth creates these super specific, really challenging problems. We've got 3 case studies, 3 different companies that slammed into 3 totally different walls. We're talking a targeting problem, a systems problem, and a data problem. And of course, the really cool part, we're going to see the exact tech solutions they use to smash right through those walls. All right, let's get into it. Case number 1 is all about a targeting problem. So, picture this, a business analytics firm. They're getting plenty of traffic to their website, which sounds great, right? But here's the catch. They just couldn't turn all those visitors into real, actual opportunities. Lots of clicks, but not a lot of customers. And this quote from them just nails the feeling. It's not that they didn't have information. They were drowning in it, but it was just data, no direction. They had no idea who was a hot lead ready to buy versus who was just kicking the tires. So naturally, their marketing efforts were just missing the mark completely. So what did they do? Well, here's their fix, and it's brilliant. It wasn't about one magic piece of software. It was a whole strategy broken down into 4 clear steps. First, they totally optimized their website forms. Then, they built this intelligent lead scoring model, basically a system to automatically figure out who their best prospects were. After that, they created campaign assets that actually worked. And finally, they set up these data-driven nurture programs to guide potential customers along the way. Super smart. And the result of all this is the crucial part, a 40% jump in what we call marketing qualified leads, or MQLs. And that's a huge deal. It means they weren't just getting more leads, they were getting the right leads, the ones who are actually likely to become customers. But wait, there's more. They also saw a 5% improvement in email deliverability. Now, I know what you're thinking, 5%. Doesn't sound massive, right? But it's actually critical. It means their messages were hitting the inbox, not the spam folder. All that hard work wasn't going to waste. Okay, on to our second story. This company, a telecom innovator, didn't have a targeting problem. Their problem was the tool itself. Their growth was being absolutely strangled by an old, clunky, fragmented CRM system. Yeah, you can just feel the pain in this quote, can't you? Instead of thinking about strategy and growth, their teams were basically digital detectives, wasting all their time trying to piece together information from a bunch of different places. It wasn't just inefficient, it was a direct roadblock to their success. And here's where the old system was really failing them. It wasn't just one thing, it was death by 1,000 cuts. There was no social media integration, their email marketing was all over the place, and they couldn't even manage their forms centrally. And forget about decent reporting or automation, it was just a complete mess. So their solution had to be big. They decided to do a complete migration over to HubSpot. The idea was to create one single source of truth for everything. That meant moving all their data, totally restructuring it for better targeting, and rebuilding all their campaigns and dashboards inside this one new unified system. A huge undertaking, for sure. And did it pay off? Oh, yeah. Immediately, they saw a 20% boost in their overall sales and marketing performance. Think about that. All of a sudden, their teams weren't fighting with their software anymore. They were actually using it to win. And it gets even better. They saw their conversion rates jump by 40%. How? Well, for the first time ever, they had a complete 360-degree view of their customers. That let them tailor every single interaction and get way, way smarter about how they sell. And that brings us to our third and final case. This one's about a global IT services firm, and their problem was maybe the most foundational of all. It wasn't about leads or systems. It was about the data itself. It was messy, it was inconsistent, and you just couldn't trust it. And let's be clear, unclean data isn't just some minor headache. It is a direct roadblock to growth. Seriously. If your data is garbage, then everything you build with it, your marketing, your sales, your reports, it's all built on a shaky foundation. It poisons the well for everything else you try to do. This quote, wow. like trying to build a house on shifting sand. That just perfectly captures the frustration, doesn't it? Their team was working so hard, spending countless hours just manually cleaning up data. But it was a never-ending, soul-crushing job that didn't actually fix the root problem. So how do you fix a problem like that? They turned to AI. They built this really slick solution that connected ChatGPT right into their Marketo marketing platform. So now, as new data came in, the AI would automatically clean it up in real time. We're talking fixing typos, standardizing formats, validating info, the whole shebang. It created this constantly clean pipeline of data. And the impact? It was massive. This new AI framework led to a 60% jump in their data audit efficiency. But more than that, it freed their team from that awful manual work. They could finally stop cleaning spreadsheets and start thinking strategically again. And as you'd expect, the whole operation just got faster. They saw a 40% decrease in the time it took to process data. That meant their entire marketing and sales engine could move quicker and jump on new opportunities way faster than before. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. We've got three really different stories here, right? A targeting problem, a systems problem, and a data problem. They seem completely separate, but there's a really important common thread connecting them all. And this table just lays it out perfectly. Ineffective targeting gets fixed with smarter demand gen. Fragmented systems get fixed with a unified CRM. Messy data gets fixed with AI automation. The key lesson here is that success wasn't about buying some fancy new software. It was about correctly diagnosing the real problem first, and then finding the right tech to solve that specific problem. And that's the big takeaway. You can think of it like this. Technology is the car, but your strategy is the GPS. You can have the fastest car in the world, but if you're driving in the wrong direction, you're just getting lost faster. It's the strategy, that tailored approach to your specific problem, that actually unlocks real, meaningful growth. So that brings it all back to you. As you think about your own company, which of these bottlenecks feels familiar? Is your growth being held back by a targeting issue, a systems issue, or a data issue? Because figuring out which problem is your problem, well, that's the most important first step you can take.